So in 97, Eminem participated in Scribble Jam, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
At the time, did he have a big buzz already? He had Infinite out, right? But not Slim Shady EP yet.
No, Slim Shady EP wasn't a thing. He had Infinite, but we hadn't heard that. His manager at the time, Mark, they were passing out copies, but we didn't hear that till after the weekend had passed. You know what I mean? Like when you have a chance to listen. He was just there with Mark. You know, like he was just a dude. Like literally, he was just over there being quiet, just waiting.
So you
Like
hadn't heard about him before, like you didn't hear his name, anything like that.
No.
Nope. What was your first impression of him?
Funny thing about the whole thing is we didn't even have we had turntables there. We were playing beats off a tape because we're like, we don't want to bring 200 records. I just remember like, you know, because you pause the tape and I remember beat comes on and there was Dose was there too. There's a couple other cats. I mean, I knew a bunch of them, but so here are the ones that I know. And then he rapped and I'm like, who the fuck is that? And that's like the look. All the dudes that were sitting behind the turntables like, what the fuck just happened? Did we hear that motherfucker? Like, did we hear? Like, maybe we didn't hear it right. You know what I mean? And then as it kept going, you're like, you can hear in the background some of the footage, people hating or people really liking him. There's like motherfuckers like, he ain't got no vocabulary. I'm like, shut. And that's the dude filming. We're like, shut the fuck up, Howard. You're talking over it. But it was surprising. Like, it was definitely a what the fuck is happening moment. And it became very clear there was going to be Juice, Rhymefest, Dose, and Eminem were going to be the final four because no matter what happened, no one was a clear winner till they went inside. It was, yeah. I mean,
well,
it was.
Yeah, can you explain that a little bit? Because like, okay, so he battled All-Star at one point, right?
Yeah.
And in the final, the finals was a four-way battle between him, Juice, Rhymefest, and Dose won.
Dose, Eminem, Juice, Rhymefest.
Right.
All-Star, that would have been the round like kind of before that. All-Star lost to Eminem outside.
Got you. Okay. So there was battles outside, and if you won, then you went inside. That's the
so premise. The battles outside is because, you know, and there's, you know, fucking 80 dudes that want to battle. We didn't expect that many people to show up and battle. So you got to hear the worst of the worst and the best. So we were there for a long time. Mm-hmm. And then because of the noise ordinance, you have to go inside, which wasn't planned. And so then like they kept going outside for a long time, like those four. And then we're like, fuck it, take them in. So Juice, Rhymefest, Dose 1, Eminem. Those are the final four. And then there's a part where, so it was Dose versus Eminem. Eminem wins. And then it was going to be Rhymefest and Juice, and Rhymefest tapped out because him and Juice are from the same crew. And so that leaves you with Juice and Eminem. Then there's your final battle.
Got you. Okay. So can we talk about the incorrect story that Rhymefest told?
Absolutely. 100% we can, yes.
Because he said that Eminem battled him, called him the N-word, basically said, you know, and the rhyme that he quoted him for was actually the rhyme that Eminem spat against All-Star.
Yeah.
And you did a post of this on Instagram too and said, this is the real origin story.
As soon as Rhymefest said that, somebody sent it to me. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. First of all, if that had happened, Eminem would have got clanked with a bottle. Like, we don't play that shit. We don't, you know, that doesn't fly here. And I'm like, but fuck no. I'm like, I don't even think that. So I'm scouring through all the DVDs and I'm like, yeah, it's fucking All-Star. Cause it was always a funny battle. Like, blah, 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 I'm playful with you. I'll staple stitch you. Everybody in this fucking playfulness, you try to turn my facial tissue into a fucking racial issue. And I'm like, and that's it. And then the crowd's screaming. So it doesn't really matter. I'm like, there's no N-bomb in there. And I'm like, and that's All-Star. So you're watching Rhymefest tell a story that has absolutely dick to do with him. He's not even in the background on that one. He's over there fucking doing whatever he does. Had nothing to do with him. No, it's fucking All-Star. And he literally, Rhymefest says the words in the interview, except he adds the N-bomb in there. And then he tells the story like, and I couldn't even be mad at him that he called me that. And I just had to keep battling him. What the fuck are you talking about? You didn't battle. Period. No. It's basically, it's either you, I don't know. I don't think he does. I don't think he does drugs or shit. I think you're either mistaken or you're just fucking lying. Like, and you
'Cause
could, the receipts
it
are there.
really seemed like a clout move. You know what I mean?
But would you do a cloud move on a thing that you should honestly know exists online on 1,000 fucking YouTube videos? Like, it's an Eminem battle. It's fucking everywhere.
I know, but people lie about all types of stuff in this era now, and it's crazy because
Well, I tell you the story about when I battled Eminem and Juice by myself and beat them and won, but then I decided that would be the wrong ending. So then I let them all battle that year at Scribble Jam because it never happened.
and that's the crazy thing is that Rhymefest has his own Eminem story of his battle with him that he could have told. Instead, he decided to tell this story.
Yes. And so that the real problem is it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like when you think about it, you're like, but why? It didn't help. It just made you look dumb. Like it made no sense at all. Like how did that even fucking come up? I feel like in that interview, he brought it up. Or he put it on the, like, you know, the thing like, hey, make sure we talk about when I battled Eminem. And it was actually All-Star. I mean, it is what it is. It's All-Star.
Right. But did you get to talk to Rhymefest after that situation or anyone close to him?
No. The Eminem camp was pissed, pissed. Well, they weren't pissed. They're just like, could you just make sure they were telling the Scribble Jam kids, could you just make sure that you post it and explain what's going on, like it's a bad look, especially when it's not fucking true. No,
so they reached out to you guys.
Yeah. The management or whatever did, yeah. Because it got super big really quick. And then, so in the comments, the first 20 comments make sense. And then cats don't watch the whole video. So then they'd be like, yeah, man, Eminem called Rhymefest. But you didn't watch the video because they just went into the comments. So like we had to repost it again to like clarify it. It's simple. Like when you're watching the video, that's not Rhymefest. You know what I mean? That's obviously not. So I don't really have a reason it happened. Like why he went with that version of whatever. Because it just didn't happen. And there weren't that many people. You know what I mean? If that had happened, everyone would have heard it.
Yeah, and I understand why his camp would be upset about something like that, obviously, especially in this era that we are in now.
Yeah.
I mean, especially because it's not true. That's just crazy.
It's a bad look. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, we had enough angles of the video. We knew what was going to happen. Like you're going to put the video up, put the description up, polite, nicely, like it's not Rhymefest, it's All-Star. And that's kind of how I worded it. Like maybe it's a mistake. Maybe it's a mistake and you remember it different, and then it kept going and it would keep popping back up. And then people would redirect them. You should go look at Dibbs' post about it. And really, it just got kind of boring. I'm like, the attention span of people is so short that they don't want to watch the whole video.
Nobody cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining.
Yes, exactly. The lie is definitely more entertaining. It's a hell of a lie, though. Like, it's amazing.
But that's what's so sad about the era that we live in now is that people rather run with the lie because it's so much more entertaining and they care about that more.
Yeah.
And me being in hip hop media or whatever, however you want to call it, it's a little frustrating to see now because like you see so many people come up and tell stories about things and they're obviously lying, but you see the audience, they don't even care because they're just so entertained.
For instance, anytime there's a Scribble Jam post about the documentary or like this thing, I'll get messages or there'll be messages, in the thread, in the comments, man, I was there. I remember that. And then I'll go look and I'm like, if you were there, you were One. Like, you wouldn't believe how many people are like, I was at Scribble Jam that year. And they're like 15 now. They're 15 years old right now saying they were at Scribble in 2002. That happens a lot.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So you and M used to talk a lot in the early days though, right? Like after the situation?
Me and his manager talked more. We did talk, but that went really quick for him, the way I remember it. Like, Scribble happens, and I think he went back to Detroit and went back to like maybe the shitty job or whatever, like at a restaurant or something. And then, as the story goes, the Rap Olympics was going to happen at Rhymefest and Juice. I think Windy Day was the person putting that team together. They
Right.
needed a third, and they're like, let's get that Eminem kid. And then that's literally how he gets out there. And then now there's all the fucking versions of, it was a dirty tape on the floor, a car had run over and somebody listened to it, and there's all those. And then there's whatever really happened, which I don't know, but I would assume that somebody was like, yo, this motherfucker's really dope. You have to check him out. You know what I mean? Like, somebody that knew Dre passed that to him. It wasn't.
You're so funny that you say that because it's like there is so many different variations. It was an intern from Jimmy Iovine that was in the crowd that heard it and blah 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 and all this stuff, And I interviewed Wendy Day too. So
Yeah.
Wendy was even saying that she basically put on the Rap Olympics to showcase Eminem's skills. That was what she said. But she was also saying that she was actively shopping a deal for him at that time too. So but it's funny though, because like you said, there is so many different versions of the story.
I mean, I like all the versions too. I wish I knew which one was real. I'll go with there was a tape on the floor. He got kicked into a bathroom stall. Some dude passed out and put it in his pocket when he was drunk, and then he was at Dre. Yeah, that sounds great, but Wendy Day probably had more to do with it, I'm sure. But yeah, and that was that. And then like I remember having a conversation with Mark, and he's like, "Hey, L.A., Dr. Dre," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "They want to sign Eminem. What do I do?" I'm like, "What the fuck you mean? What do you do?" That's a non-question. What do you do? It's Dr. Dre. What do you do? You don't call me. You should have already taken care of this. He's like, "Yeah, but like, I don't think I'm going to be a part of it anymore." I'm like, "Oh, they're going to buy the contract out from you? Who cares? It's Dr. Dre. You're going to make a bunch of money."
Oh, when you say Mark, you're talking about Mark Bass, right? From the Bass Brothers?
No, it's his original manager from Detroit. I just can't remember his last name. It's not Bass though.
Because I know that at the time he was signed to Web Entertainment at the time with the Bass Brothers.
Let me see if I can find it. Mark Kempf.
Mark Kemp. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
It's Mark Kempf. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Mark. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, Midwest manager, and he's a really cool dude and shit. And I think, like they just were like, we got it from here. And that was that.
Got you. So when you saw him lose to Juice, right? What was his reaction when he lost?
You know what? I don't know that I was really paying that much attention. Dose was my dude then. You know what I mean? Like me and Dose, we were all actively getting ready. We were getting ready. That's when Presage was happening. We were getting ready to work on that. I was bummed that Dose didn't take it, because Dose the thing was he was off the head the whole time. He didn't have pocket lines. None. There was nothing written about Dose 1. Everyone else had some shit in the pocket they could pull out. But he did lose though. He lost, like it is what it is. But I don't remember paying that much attention, because by that time, man, we've been up for almost 3 days in a row, and this is just more rap shit, and we're like, oh, finish it. But I do not remember him being like pissed or bummed out about it. I mean, I remember him and Juice, shaking, dapping each other up, and that was it. And then,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you heard him rap, did you know that he was going to become as successful as he came to be?
He was really fucking dope. There was something different. You know what I mean? Like you like, damn, that's really dope. Not that Juice or Fest or any of them weren't dope, but he carried himself in this kind of like They all did. Rhyme, him and Juice in particular, just those were the first two dudes that when you're fucking blasting at them, they literally, this is the look. No emotion at all. They just stared at you. And I remember that threw me off when I was watching them because it didn't matter what was said. They didn't laugh. Like if you were funny, nope, they just stared at him. And that's what made me think about those two. And then I knew that I knew he would blow up, but the version of blow up I had in my head and what followed were completely different. Like 1 minute it's a dude that, you could call, and the next minute you're like, holy shit, I'm not calling that dude because I feel like I'm bothering him. You know what I mean? Like the amount of shit he'd have to be dealing with. And I'm cool that he, scribbles where he met those dudes and that inadvertently led to that shit. You know what I mean? Like you can't take it away from us. Like he was really there. He really came and killed shit.
For sure, man.
I mean,
And
Rhymefest went on to do all kinds of shit, and so did Juice, just not as loud.
right.
Ghostwriting shit and stuff like that. Like they definitely put in their work. Just I mean, he had Dre. You know what I mean? Like he had Dre, and he paid attention, and so that's how. It's not like it all got thrown in his lap. He paid attention and learned some shit from Dre and them, and that's how he went to do the shady thing. Like
Absolutely. But that Interscope machine and the Jimmy Iovine mind is this.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's definitely they knew how to market him and everything.
I mean, people, when you hear cats, he can't rap. I'm like, motherfucker, come on, dude. Yes, he can. You don't have to be a dick the whole time. You don't have to like everything in the fucking catalog. But I mean, the motherfucker can rap, and we all know he can, or you wouldn't be talking about him.
Right.
So that's what it is.
And that was, to Rhymefest's credit, he was a hell of a ghostwriter for Kanye too.
Yeah, for sure. And there's that, so there's that too. It's like just the opposite side of the coin. He went that route, and Marshall went that way, but they still both put in work and both super successful for it too.
Right. Just Rhymefest, get your story correct next time, man. Come on. Because man, he's kind of lucky that they didn't make him have a retract or something, retract a statement or anything, because that's serious.
I'm sure it could have gone way worse. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
They when they hit up the Scribble kids, it was very simple. They weren't asking for the world. They were just like, make sure you correct it, and it was easy. It wasn't hard to correct. Like we had the receipts, so that was that.
Right.